This is a stimulus check update and daily news report. Got some big updates to share with you. Nancy Pelosi addresses a new deadline regarding the Build Back Better bill, while Democrats are trying to figure out what to even put in the new Build Back Better bill. I'll give you the latest video clip talking about Manchin, Cinema, and the BBB. We'll talk about the latest stimulus check articles like this. Are you eligible for a special $1,261 stimulus payment? One new city is accepting applications for $500 payments, and $1,000 monthly checks are going out in another city. I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So the latest COVID variant is 1.5 times more contagious than Omicron and already circulating in almost half of the United States. So the Omicron subvariant known as BA2 is 1.5 times more transmissible than the original Omicron strain. And UK Health Security Agency on Friday said BA2 has substantial growth advantage over the original Omicron, and nearly half of U.S. states have confirmed the presence of BA2 with at least 127 known cases nationwide as of Friday yesterday. What are your thoughts on the new Omicron? Are you worried? Are you concerned? Or are you just living your life as normal as it was before, whatever normal is? Let me know your thoughts on all that down in the comments below. So Democrats mull how much to build back and when in the budget bill. So Manchin wants to start from scratch, while other Democrats want to begin with pieces he previously supported. So Democrats are still stuck at the drawing board. They don't know what to do, mainly because of Joe Manchin. So Joe Manchin has been the one who has been blocking the Build Back Better bill this whole time, him and Kirsten Sinema. So billionaire GOP donor maxed out to Manchin following his Build Back Better opposition. I mentioned this briefly yesterday. I was wondering why it was only $5,000 donation from the Republican donor Ken Langone. I guess that was the maximum that someone could contribute, and so Ken Langone and his wife each contributed $5,000, so that's $10,000 to Joe Manchin shortly after he opposed the Build Back Better bill, and that month he raised $150,000 in December in donations in December, which was last month, for I guess to run for re-election. So when it comes to a deadline, Pelosi sidesteps progressives' March 1st deadline for Build Back Better. So progressives, and I played a few different interviews of them talking about a new March 1st deadline for the Build Back Better. I guess Nancy Pelosi has learned her lesson with putting out a deadline. So what she said yesterday on Friday, that she does not subscribe to any particular date to get the Democrat social spending bill passed, sidestepping the March 1st deadline, and then said, we will pass the bill when we have the votes to pass the bill, and we cannot stop pressing for that. We have a number of pieces of legislation that we're working on, but the Build Back Better is absolutely essential. I hope that they're right. I don't subscribe to any particular date. Pelosi added of progressives sought after deadline. So it looks like there is no deadline, but progressives want the deadline, but they don't want to make it official, because if they do make it official, then everybody's going to look for March 1st, and if it passes with no bill passed, then it's another disappointment, which is probably expected. Here's a video clip explaining more of Manchin and the BBB.
So news this week has understandably been dominated by Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer's retirement and who President Joe Biden will nominate. We're going to talk more about that later on in the show, but it can be easy to forget that just a few days ago, the number one item on Biden's legislative to-do list was passing the Build Back Better plan. Remember, that's the so-called human infrastructure and social spending plan. It offers things like universal pre-K and child care subsidies. It extends the child tax credit. It invests in clean energy, and it actually aims to reduce prescription drug prices. Now, that bill, no surprise, has stalled in the Senate because no Republicans want to support it, and Democrats don't want to reform the filibuster. And White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, though, told my colleague Mehdi Hassan last night that she's confident there's a version of the BBB what will get 50 Democrats Senate votes.
We still feel that there is a path forward for all of these initiatives. Let me start with Build Back Better. We know we need 50 votes. Obviously, we only have 50 votes. Every single senator has to support an agenda, but there is agreement on some key components. lowering the cost of childcare, negotiating prescription drug prices, elder care. That's good. We'll see what 50 senators can come to agreement on.
But it was just a few weeks ago that one Democrat, I'm looking at you, Joe Manchin, essentially torpedoed the bill, saying he could not vote for it in its current form. Manchin now says that he actually wants to chop up BBB and could, in fact, see himself passing some of the bill's climate measures. Really? That Joe Manchin? West Virginia Joe Manchin? But more progressive Democrats are reluctant to lose Build Back Better's popular social programs. Meanwhile, some Republicans seem to be living in a totally, and I mean totally different reality here. On Tuesday, Senator Ron Johnson basically shot down the idea of helping make family life and child care in this country more affordable.
People decide to have families and become parents. That's something they need to consider when they make that choice. I've never really felt it was society's responsibility to take care of other people's children.
So this from the staunchly pro-life senator from the allegedly pro-family party. So with both Republicans and some Democrats standing in the way and the president's approval tanking, what does a passable Build Back Better plan look like? Here to discuss it, Pennsylvania Congresswoman Susan Wild. Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining us this evening. So progressives, as you know, say that passing Build Back Better as one large bill will make it more transformative. But you're among the Democrats who actually say it should be broken up into smaller bills. Explain why for us.
Because we've got to get it done. And what we have learned is that Senator Manchin is unyielding on the big package. So we need to break it down, not necessarily don't do it on through reconciliation. We might still do it as a reconciliation package, but we've got to make sure that we are working on the provisions that we can get through the Senate. And Senator Manchin, to his credit, has been very, very transparent about what he will, at least recently has been very transparent about what he will go for. So let's work on those issues. Let's get a solid timeline in place, and let's make sure that we can get what we can get done.
Democrats still trying to figure out what they want to do. They really want something to happen, but they're kind of helpless in the situation. They just can't make it happen, mainly because of Manchin. So let's move on to stimulus. So are you eligible for a special $1,261 stimulus payment? So what this is talking about, I'll save you some time. I won't read the article. It's talking about the COLA, cost of living adjustment, how it is it's going to be an increase of up to $841 for individuals and $1,261 for couples at most for anyone on Social Security or Supplemental Security Income, which is SSI. Also, thousands of Americans can soon apply for $500 payments. See if you're eligible. So this is what's going on in Atlantic City, New Jersey, for those who have struggled financially during the pandemic. So in order to apply for this, I think in the next 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to have to prove, if you live in Atlantic City, prove that the pandemic has caused hardships in your life, and then you can be eligible for the $500 check. And then Basic Income Program, officially in effect, provides $1,000 monthly payments to select LA families. So this is officially going on right now. Take a look at this video clip explaining more, and I want to get your opinion how you would feel about this around the country.
One of the first programs of its kind in the country, a basic income program for families impacted by the pandemic and living in poverty, is officially underway in Los Angeles. Coco McAvoy joining us live to explain how this all works. Coco?
Good evening. Around 3,000 families were selected for the program, and the first $1,000 payments kicked in today. We spoke with 2 moms who say the program is a blessing.
Your funds will be loaded on the 25th, on time, around the clock, every month.
Dejanay Marcella and her 7-year-old daughter, Rosalinda, are overjoyed after being selected for the Basic Income Program in Los Angeles, known as Big Leap.
I felt like a big weight got lifted off of my shoulders, and I started to get emotional. I did, because I just started to think of everything that I could take care of now, and for little Rosalinda.
Marcella was laid off from her job during the pandemic and has since struggled to find a work-from-home job.
I'm afraid to send my daughter to school with everything going on. And even though I know the schools are safe, but me as a mom, this is my only child. I can't. So I'm like, no, stay home with me. We're homeschooling.
But on Tuesday, Marcella received her first $1,000 payment. The pilot program will continue giving $1,000 each month to families who qualified for 1 year. Qualifications included hardship from COVID, having at least one child, and an income at or below the federal poverty line. For Marcella, it means
the main goal is to make sure we have enough food in the house to carry us on to the next month.
And the two immediately bought groceries and made a celebratory meal. But Rosalinda still has bigger goals, expressing her plan.
Why?
Because we're going to get a new house.
Oh, and that's what's on her mind.
3,200 families in Los Angeles are benefiting from the program, including Yolanda, a mom of 4 daughters.
I thought I was blessed. I thought that, okay, thank you, Lord.
Yolanda plans to use the extra funds each month to go back to school.
For my family, I'm going to definitely make it happen. If that means working more hours at work, whatever it means doing. And that's another reason I'm kind of furthering my education because, you know, the more you know, the further you go and the more you make.
The program is spearheaded by Councilmember Curran Price, whose office partially funded it.
It's going to really be a lifeline, and it really is an opportunity for individuals to move beyond poverty, we hope. We think it's going to be a grand experiment, the largest one in our country so far.
And it gives families a much-needed boost during a difficult time.
Such a blessing. It gives us a reminder.
The application process for the program ended late last year. Reporting live this evening, I'm Coco McAvoy, Fox 11 News.
So what are your thoughts? Is this a good thing, bad thing? Is this helping out low-income people? Could you see this happening around the country on a city-by-city, state-by-state basis? Good idea, bad idea? Should it be temporary? Should it be long-term? Let me know your thoughts on all that, on the universal basic income and guaranteed income. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Oh, hi guys. Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you the one thing you should do. Remember when you were a kid, you always used your imagination in your mind. That's why it's called imagination. Imagining what you're thinking about. And remember that when you were a kid, you use your imagination for like anything, like movies. You watch the movies, you imaginate yourself with it. You may sometimes when you're watching cool movies, use your imagination to do the same thing if you want. And also, can I tell you something? I watched a movie and now I'm all about it. And now I'm a Ghostbuster. This one you shoot out light and it makes the ghost disappear. And this one you tap it like this and it makes you disappear. Make the ghost disappear. So that's all I wanted to tell you. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate your support. So it is actually legitimately snowing in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, as it is in a lot of other places. But to be snowing in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, it's pretty crazy. Woke up and the roof was covered in snow. My daughter went outside to try to do some snow angels and was throwing snowballs. So it's pretty cool to see some snow here. How is it in your area? Is it crazy? Is it a lot of snow and stuff? Hopefully you're safe. If you want to check out my latest video on my other channel, you could click this video up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.